Hello, everybody. Hey, Angel. All right. Shout out to the UK in the house. Thank you, everybody, for taking some time out today to, I don't want to say commemorate, I guess, to just pay our respects to the Idaho 4 victims. Let's see, we have about 7 people here, Angel. They may not be in the chat, but we do have a few people here. And I'm not going to take up your whole day, but I want to show just a little bit of background for each of the Idaho 4. It's 12 o'clock, and so we're going to get started in probably about a minute or two. Thank you so much for coming out. All right, shout out to Angel and Terry Sleuth. Thank you so much for coming out. Cindy Abbott. All right. Okay, let's see. I want to show a little bit of who was for each one of the students, and I'm going to start with Stacy for Ethan, because I want to show a little bit of the book that she made for Ethan. All right, shout out to Crystal. Thank you so much. I love you too. Let me get some light in here. I can't hardly see. Hold on a minute. I'm going to put on some light. We're going to go ahead and get started. This live is scheduled for about an hour, so I'm not going to hold you all day, but I think it's appropriate for us to show some love. I just need to turn on my light here a little bit. All right. I want to start with Ethan. His mom made a book called The Boy in Blue, and I have it here. All right, Ethan was a triplet, and I think you should be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and start it at this point where his mother is discussing the book. All right.
Turn grief into action.
On a beautiful star-filled October night, triplet children were born, and oh, what a sight. 3 healthy babies, what could we say? Such a joyful, amazing, and momentous day. He was amazing, and he was that way from the very beginning. But there was something incredible about that boy who wore blue. His bubbly personality immediately shone through. Day after day, the boy who wore blue woke up happy and went to bed happy too. Thought he was a character. I mean, he lit up any room. And that's what we all miss the most in him, I think. He just had a funny joke to tell. He just had this magnanimous personality. He could walk in the room and it just elevated any situation. He was amazing. He was an amazing kid. We're fortunate to have had him in our life for 20 years.
Looking hindsight, he really touched a lot of lives.
All right.
Shocking.
And
we had no idea. I mean, it has been a year of people literally coming out of the woodwork that we literally had no idea. Kids that he sat in class with.
Is there one thing that you miss the most about Ethan?
Oh yeah, I miss hugging Ethan. He was definitely a mama's boy. He always wore this blue Patagonia coat. I'd give anything to go back and be able to have another hug from him. Yeah.
All right, I think we have a little buffering going on here, but that's all right.
Day after day, the boy who wore blue woke up happy and went to bed happy too.
How have you been? It's been about a year. How are you doing right now?
I think overall we're doing very well. I mean, all things considered, right? Going into a year, it feels a little bit more emotional, I would say. Because we're starting, the news things and the vigil information for the University of Idaho was just released. I mean, it just brings back, it's like, my God, we've been a whole year without our kids. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow, but we can't change the outcome. We've said it all along, and so
I guess it's going to play.
we really try to focus on Maisie and Hunter, and the things that we've created in Ethan's memory, and that we're really proud of. And so, but the kids are good, and Jim and I are great, and that's what we have to spend our time focusing on.
Something that you posted on social media caught my attention. You said that you were told to look for a victory every day, even if it was the tiniest little victory. You say that was excellent advice.
It was excellent advice. I'd give it to anybody who is in any kind of tough situation. You have to get up and you have to find something. It might be the taste of your coffee in the morning. It might be a little flower that's growing in a crack in a sidewalk. You have to find something that you look at that just is like, okay, that's the good that I found today. And there were days we've done that. We've literally, there are about 5 months that I call it the depths of hell, but where you just literally have to wake up every morning and think to yourself, I don't know what in the hell just happened to my family, right? I mean, legitimately. And so you start looking for those things. We came upon the Sigma Chi house Monday morning, November 14th. And it was very early in the morning. And those boys, it's a profound moment in the journey that we've taken over the course of the last year. Those boys were flocking out of that house. Their mothers had called them home, literally. I need to hug you. I need to love you. I need you to come home. And it left us like they had their pillows underneath their arms and they were just hopping into their cars. Like they were just driving away. They'd left everything at the fraternity. And it was a very moving moment for us. It was another moment that said this kid had touched all these lives and these hearts. And we saw it again at the memorial and at the vigil and every time we go to the Sigma Chi house. And wherever he went, the friends would all swarm. This tale, this story of the boy who wore blue, is a message for everyone, including you. That's what I have left of Ethan, is to be his voice in memory of him. Life is short, so give it your best. Be happy, smile, and encourage the rest.
She's an incredible woman with a lot of strength. Stacy's book about Ethan, The Boy Who Wore Blue, is available for purchase online.
All right, there's our tribute to Ethan. I want to read a little bit of what his mother said about him. All right, hey Deb. I'm going to read a little bit of it, and then we're going to. Anybody want to make any comments about it? That's fine. And then we'll move on to Kaylee. Now, let me. Y'all can hear me all right? Okay, it says Ethan Chapin, referee youth basketball throughout his teenage years, sometimes offering pointers to the younger players. Fairness came naturally to the firstborn of the Chapin triplets, who loved sports and participated in any way he could. When you have triplets, you have this compelling sense of fairness, Stacy Chapman, Ethan's mom, told Today. He didn't play favorites. He didn't care who the best player was on the team or the last player on the team. He just loved playing. Ethan Chapin was 20 years old and was of four students at the University of Idaho. And as we know, he was also in a relationship with Xana, which makes it even more sad. But in a way, they passed together, and it seemed that they probably would have married. Ethan and Xana is highly likely. And so when we think of Ethan, we think of Xana. Okay, so I would like to have a moment of silence for Ethan, starting right now. All right, all right, all right. We love you, Ethan. Rest in peace. And I'm going to move on to, let's see, who do I have up here? Xana. I think I should do Xana next behind Ethan. All right, let's listen.
Xana was such a light in my life and so many others. She was the person I could relate to the most, and she knew and understood me more than anyone.
A wise daughter.
She taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me how to be a dad.
Xana Kernodle's sister Jasmine remembers her as someone who can lift up a room.
She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know.
Xana was originally from Avondale, Arizona. Her family later moved to Post Falls, Idaho. She played volleyball, soccer, and track at Post Falls High School. Xana went on to attend the University of Idaho. She pledged the Pi Beta Phi sorority and was majoring in marketing. According to an obituary in the Bonner County Daily Bee, Xana loved listening to electronic dance music and going on family trips with her sister and father.
She was my baby sister, but she was so much wiser and experienced so much more in life than I ever have. She never let an opportunity pass her by and enjoyed all the moments she had.
At the University of Idaho, Xana lived in a rental house with 5 other women. One of her roommates, Madison Mogan, was also her co-worker at the Mad Greek restaurant.
I know she loved living in her house in Moscow with her friends. I would hear so many stories about her and her roommates, and it made me so happy to know she had such great friendships.
She was dating Ethan Chapin, her first boyfriend.
They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so much love for her. They had something so special, and everyone around them knew.
And Xana's loss has left those around her heartbroken.
Xana, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did.
Okay, I want to read something. Let's go back to, hold on a second. I want to go back to something. All right. Here is the background for Xana. It says the Kernodles remain mostly out of public eye, asking for privacy when approached by media outlets. That changed recently when Jasmine Kernodle and Jeff Kernodle, sister and father of the victim, sat down for an interview with CBS 48 episode that aired Saturday. She cared about people, Jeff Kernodle said. She was a people person. She cared about her friends just as much as her family. Jasmine, 22, described Xana as fun and uplifting, someone who took any bad situation and turned it into a good one. My sister, Xana Kernodle, was one of the happiest, funniest people I've ever met, Jasmine said. I had the awesome privilege of growing up with her. The two sisters were often mistaken as twins and remained best friends until her death. They had planned to launch a marketing business together. She would have been my maid of honor, and I probably would have been hers, Jasmine said. It's sad to have gone through those moments without her. Jasmine was a senior at Washington State University in Pullman, the same school where Koberger was a graduate. Jeff had been visiting Jasmine for her college's dad's weekend on November 12th through 13th. After he left on that Sunday, Jasmine began getting phone calls from Xana's friends saying something bad had happened at the house on King Road. Jasmine said she quickly got in her car and called her sister, Ann Chapin, who was dating Kernodle, over and over as she drove to Moscow. She also called her father. I hear crying, and just telling me to get back to Moscow and meet at Xana's house, Jeff said. My heart dropped instantly and I raced back down there. After they arrived, law enforcement quickly took them to a police station. The worst day of your life, your worst nightmare just happened, Jeff said. What do? You can't do a DAM thing. Jasmine said she is still coming to terms with the death of her sister. I've had some dreams of her, Jasmine said. There's times where I prayed and asked God to see her another time, and I did. It just gives me peace knowing that she's okay. All right, that's so sad. All right, so I'm asking to have a moment of silence for Xana Kernodle starting right now. All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is Ethan and Xana Kernodle, who we know were dating exclusively and just the most adorable couple. And it's so sad to, I just don't want to, uh, I don't want to, make anybody sad today. This is a good day because even though the trial has not started yet, we really still don't really know what happened here as far as who did it and the details of it, concrete facts. but we're moving closer to that. And I believe that sooner or later we will have the truth. The truth always comes out. But rest in peace, Xana and Ethan. Now I want to go next to Kaylee. Kaylee Gonsalves. We know that Kaylee had already almost moved on with her life, but for some reason she came back to Moscow, and we just have to wonder if she hadn't come back to Moscow that weekend, would we have 4 victims? Would we have 4 victims? All right. This is Remembering Kaylee.
Kaylee Gonsalves leaves a big void in her big family. Growing up in Rathdrum, Idaho, they describe her as the ultimate middle child.
She was always competitive. There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys, or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters and you know make sure they knew that she was older.
Smack dab in the middle of 5 kids, Kaylee's mother, Christy, can't imagine what the family will be like without her.
The dynamics of the family will never be the same.
The 21-year-old was a senior at the University of Idaho. She was majoring in general studies. According to an obituary in the Coeur d'Alene Press, she was studying to become an elementary school teacher. Kaylee had a heart for adventure, was known for playing pranks on her family. She also loved her mini golden doodle Murphy, who her family says was her fur baby. Her sister Olivia says Kaylee was tough and fair, didn't hold back in love, fights, or life.
We'll miss that gift that she brought to us every single day, and she was a little ornery too, so we'll miss that as well.
Kaylee's father, Steve, smiles as he reflects on her love of country music and concerts. Her love of her best friend, Madison Mogan. She grew up alongside Madison. She died alongside her too.
They were beyond sisters, because sisters are, you kind of forced to get along. These two didn't, they weren't forced. They were just like yin and yang.
The national spotlight may be on the suspect, but Steve wants to keep the focus on the beautiful lives lost. Moving forward, he's also working on forgiveness.
We're not going to walk around with darkness in our heart for the rest of our lives and, have his name written there like a tattoo on our consciousness. So yeah, you have to forget. At least I feel you have to forgive. Otherwise, it's just a cancer inside you, and I'm not willing to live with that inside me.
Okay, I want to go back to this screen here, and I'm going to read a little bit about from the Gonsalves family. All right, it says, a year ago, 2 of the strongest people you'll ever meet lost one of the most inspiring daughters you could ever know. On November 13th, Kaylee Gonsalves was one of the 4 Idaho 4 students who lost her life on the off-campus home. Steve and Christy Gonsalves have gone through every birthday, holiday, and anniversary without their daughter. Nonstop, Christy Gonsalves somehow rolling into November really has, you didn't really think much about it. People would say it to me and mention it to me. And of course, I'd be like, yeah, I don't need to be reminded. But there's something that has come along really strong with this month of November. The weather and everything that came along with it has some deep, significant reminders of losing Kaylee and Maddie. And it's been rough. It's been really rough. And you just miss them. And the longer they're gone, the more they're missed. The more you miss them, and the more you realize how badly you really have been robbed. All of our pictures, that's all we've got. all our videos. That's everything we have, okay? It's just it's insane. It's just as crazy that she was just a year ago today she was here. Steve Gonsalves, there's just no right way to do something like this. It shouldn't be something a family should ever have to go through. We're just going to kind of try to figure it out as it happens. But we lean on the community and the people that we've met and all the love and all the support that we get. There's a massive amount of support. It's not just locally, but literally worldwide. Christy Gonsalves, it's gut wrenching how slow everything has to go. Why does this have to be so drawn out? It's important, I get it, but there are facts. We have certain facts, we have certain knowledge. I can't believe that this is how it is going. Uh, Hold on, something. All right. Let's see. I'm like, progress, December 1st, that's not progress. That's a whole another month away. But they're like, that's better than nothing having any dates. And I'm like, you're right. Yes, it is. All right. And then this is Mr. G again. That's important to bring up. There are some people who never even get to find the person who did this. We think that the police department, Moscow, the FBI, I'm still learning about what they did and how they put things together. It's amazing the resources we were able to have. We'll do whatever it takes as a community to get this person taken care of, and so we can all move on. All right. And I think that's okay. And this is Christy one more time. Yes, I just can't imagine. I mean, we think we don't have a lot of answers. I just can't imagine a mother with a missing child or a dead child that you have no idea how it happened. All right, that's really bad. I mean, oh wow. You know, I feel for Mr. G and his wife and his daughters. I feel for all the families, and she's right because not knowing how it happened, not having somebody indicted and convicted and put away, or whatever happens to somebody that does something like this makes it worse, And so my heart does go out to them for the fact that they're still trying to remember their kids, but also going through the trauma of figuring out who did it. All right. And so we need to have a moment of silence for Kaylee Gonsalves starting right now. All right. Thank you very much. And I thank you so much for participating in this memorial. I know you have things to do in the middle of the day, but I think it's good that we can come together, and those who will be watching this on replay, thank you so much in advance for joining us. All right, we're going to move on to Maddie Mogan. All right, let's go on with Maddie.
Being comfy, cute pink things, smiling, dancing, and laughing. These are just some of the things Madison Mogan's friends and family remember that the 21-year-old loved.
was just always making the best of every situation.
Maddie, as she was known, was from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Maddie was such an easygoing, loving child growing up.
Her family says she was inquisitive and curious. Big Steelers fans, her stepfather Scott Laramie shares a favorite memory from Maddie's time growing up.
Just watching the game with her, and every time the Steelers scored, I'd pick her up, and I'd hold her high in the air, and we'd celebrate together, and she'd always just laugh so hard at that.
Maddie grew up in northern Idaho with her best friend Kaylee Gonsalves.
They were inseparable from the 6th grade on. The two of them were a force not to be reckoned with. They stuck together through everything.
Maddie loved to travel, especially with Kaylee and her family.
They were sisters. She was one of ours.
At the University of Idaho, Maddie was majoring in marketing. She worked at the Mad Greek restaurant and was using her marketing skills to run a social media campaign for the eatery. She was also a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority. Her freshman year, Maddie met her boyfriend, Jake Schreiger. The couple dated for 2 years.
Maddie was my best friend. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed.
Jake says Maddie knew her worth. She was beautiful, inside and out. And if you needed a shoulder to cry on, that was Maddie too.
Maddie was the best at spreading love to all those that were close to her.
Okay.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation.
All right. This was the tribute for Maddie Mogen, and I'm going to read a little bit of commentary for Maddie. It says Madison Mogen, who was a 21-year-old senior when she was unalived in Moscow on November 13th. She was the world to us. Her father, Ben Mogen, said Mogen, who went by Maddie, was one of the four. Mogen at Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, was a marketing major, a member of the Pi Beta Phi sorority, and worked at Mad Greek restaurant with Xana Kernodle. In an obituary published at the Coeur d'Alene Press, her family wrote this about Mogen. To say Maddie is loved by all is an understatement. Maddie was known for her ability to make others smile and laugh with her offbeat and hilarious sense of humor. And it was well known by all who knew her to never let her get hungry. Mogen was using her marketing skills to run a social media campaign for the restaurant. She loved the color pink and planned to move to Boise after graduating this spring, family friend Jesse Frost told the Idaho Statesman. She and Gonsalves had grown up together in northern Idaho and were best friends. They were sisters. She was one of ours, Gonsalves' mother said. Mogen's father said the pair had been inseparable since the 6th grade. They were true sisters, and our families grew bigger and better from that. Maddie Mogen's boyfriend, Jake Schreiger, also spoke at the memorial and said the couple had been together for 2 years. Maddie was my best friend, he said. She was the first person I talked to every morning and the last person I talked to before bed, Schreiger said. The night the 4 students were killed, Mogen and Gonsalves were at the Corner Club. All right. Police found Mogen and Gonsalves together in the bed in Gonsalves' room. That's not right either. I don't know why they put that in there. All right, but I am asking for 1 minute moment of silence for Maddie Mogen, starting right now. All right, thank you very much. We're going to open the floor. If anybody would like to come on stage and say a few words about the case, about the students, the Idaho 4. If anybody would like to comment on the case, this is really not the purpose of this. We're really just spending time remembering the victims and reflecting on things. And I would like to open the floor if anybody would like to share. And if not, I will say a few things. First of all, I never, if somebody would have told me a year and a half ago that I would be spending so much of my time following a true crime case on YouTube, I wouldn't have believed it. Okay, but that's just the way it is. I got so angry when I was reading the news about it. When it happened, I was angry. When they arrested Brian Kohlberger and I read the PCA, I was angry. I just felt like this was just going to turn into something it shouldn't turn into, and it did, because there's no reason why the investigation and the arrest had to be this way, the way that it is. But I just thankful that we do have a great group that we got together to be able to keep up with law enforcement and the media and hold them accountable. Okay, because these students deserve justice, and sometimes people can forget about victims over time, especially when something else uh, happens that's a little exciting or whatever. They'll move from one case to the other. And I just don't want to see that happen here. You know, thank you for the faithful few that are still following the case and still, keeping up with what's going on and trying to help us put the pieces of the puzzle together. They say if you want to confuse somebody, just remove a couple of pieces from the puzzle and they'll never solve it. And so we're gonna keep going regardless of how many pieces are missing. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that came to show their respects. I'm gonna put a few of these comments on the screen. All right, let's start. Looking through. Let's start with all of the ones I think are very nice. Here's one from Deb Tudoro. Steve G said Kaylee taught me to be a dad, and that's awesome. I mean, we give the G's a hard time because they're in the media so much, and some of the stuff they say we may not agree with or whatever. But we love all of the students' families. I'm not gonna call them victims anymore. Okay, I don't want to give whoever did it that satisfaction of thinking that they did something. You haven't done anything, and justice is coming. So no more. Let's just get rid of the victim word. Terry Sleuth, Ethan was honorable. He was an athlete, and I just believe that he was the man of the house there. And for all we know, things could have happened faster and worse if he had to been there. So I appreciate that. All right. Leslie Vasquez, Xana had the cutest laugh. She did. If you would like to go to TikTok, there's a lot of live videos of Xana on TikTok. I don't want to try to play them all, but if you are not familiar with her personality, that's a good source. All right. Angel, I probably will post some of these links in you can go back and check and read what they said, because I found quite a few errors in one of these that I just read. It said that they were found in Kaylee's room instead of Maddie's, which is interesting to me. I don't want to open up an investigation right now, but I mean, somebody actually said they were found in Kaylee's room in print. I never saw that before. All right. Let's see. This is a very somber day. Yes, yes. Let's try to avoid feeling like that. All right, let's try to keep it positive. Feels like we knew Xana. It did. It really did. It really did. It does because she had such a vibrant personality. All right. Let's see. Right. Well, they probably didn't mention Samantha because she wasn't a part of the Idaho 4 crew. I'm gonna avoid that right now. All right. Kaylee was feisty and ornery. She was. I heard her listening to some rap music. uh, she liked Tupac, and I think she was listening to Big, Biggie, on one of them. So she was a rap fan for sure. And so I like some of the music she liked. R.I.P. Let's see. Justice is coming for sure. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, we're not having that negative energy in here, blah. I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. I'm sorry, but that's not what we're doing here. They are constantly on my mind. The parents are on my mind too. Yes, we have to remember the parents because I mean this is probably a very painful day for the parents. To have to say this is the day I lost my kid. You know, this is all of those people calling them saying something's wrong. Come to Moscow or whatever. All those thoughts probably came rushing back to these parents today. And I just really would appreciate, I appreciate their strength because who would do that? Who would do something like this? Whoever did it, you know, not a matter who did it, whoever did it, I just pray for justice, and I pray for the parents, the whole family, the sisters and brothers. It's hard on them too. It's hard on them too. And so I just really, really, yeah. Thank you, Leslie. We want positive energy here. This is about celebrating the students, the Idaho 4 students, and showing their families that we are still standing behind them. This is not an opportunity for negative energy. I'm not going to tolerate that today. All right. I can't because we're going to have people on replay watching, and that's not what this is. All right. I'm not sure that I'm not really sure how that went. I know the Gonsalves family said that they found out very late what was going on. Other people knew before them, and I imagine they had to make arrangements to, travel. I really just don't know. I don't know how that went. I probably have to go back and read what they said about how they really found out and moved on. I'm not sure about that. Oh, Mountain Mama, I cannot begin to imagine what the families and those that knew and loved them are feeling. I pray that everything and everyone involved in this is brought to light. Rest in peace, Idaho 4. Very nice. And thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Wow, wow. When I was home before work, I lit a candle. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Liz. Even if your child wasn't unalived in a violent way, it's very when you lose them when they're young like that, it's painful. But to think that somebody was that violent and brutal, just an animal, the way that these kids left here, that I'm sure that makes it worse. That's disgusting to me. I just, whatever I'm not even gonna get into the violence aspect. I want to keep everything nice and cool like it is. And I really think this is the best of the best. All right. So if no one wants to come on stage and speak, that's fine. I'm going to turn the music back on and we're going to ride out for another probably 5 minutes with the music. And that's going to be our tribute for today. Sometimes less is more. Okay, I'm going to turn on the music. And if anybody would like to make a comment in the chat to be posted on the screen, I'll continue to put them up there. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to say whatever it is you would like to say. I'm just going to continue to post comments and then we'll close out in about 5 minutes. This is your chance to say whatever you need to say in support of the family. All right. We're going to have a moment of silence for all 4 of the Idaho 4, 1 minute, and then we'll close out. Starting right now. All right. Thank you, everybody. We're going to end our tribute to Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. God bless them and God bless their families. And may God have mercy on their souls. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on Wednesday.